Hello, everybody, and welcome! You thought we were done with Waterdeep. Well, guess what? Joke's on you, bucko! We're here for the epilogue! So, with that in mind, our epilogue is going to take place a year and a half after the events of our Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign, which I had an absolute blast DMing for. I always like being able to finish modules. Oh! Thank you for the subscription, Satan! That was a van! GB, would you mind?
So, Satan, I'm sure you followed at some point, and you know what's going to happen. I'm going to take this maul, and I'm going to hit that guy in the face.
Yes! It makes me so happy every time. Speaking of things that make me happy, guys, it is April 9th, 2019, and you are loved. And loving all of you amazing fans is what brings me a deep-seated joy. Another thing,
what?
It's April 9th.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. I don't know.
Bills!
Shit. Other things that do bring me joy is streaming. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. And if you missed this stream and you're catching it up on either a VOD or a podcast form, you can find us on every format now of things at /Indoor Adventures, unless it's Anchor, not Anchor, Podbean. They do a prefix rather than the suffix at the end. So, Indoor Adventures, you can find us there, unless it's a Google search, in which case it'll probably show you awesome places to have birthday parties in your local area. Also, for your guys' information, we also have a merch store, which I am always happy to talk about because, guys, haven't you ever wanted to look so fashionable with this sweatshirt, or the shirt that LB is wearing, or the shirt that GB is wearing, or perhaps the mug that everyone drinks out of on this show? Because I feel like we should just give co-hosts mugs, so easy promotion. This is the 15-ounce mug. It actually holds more than a can of soda, as I found out today. And on top of that, we also have some amazing merch coming in the way, because I got the updated Moon Maidens picture, and God's be praised, it looks beautiful. However, I am still working with Streamlabs right now to try and figure out how to make it poster size, because it keeps wanting to make it a tiny picture. So we're going to try and get that movie poster size, and it will be awesome. Other things that are awesome to keep in mind, I'm not actually wearing a shirt that is from our show, but hey, guys, you should check out Forgotten Realms Explained, because Jordan's a really cool guy. And he's going to be at Gen Con this year, and so are everybody in this stream. So if you are also going to Gen Con, please stop and say hello. I'm going to be making collectible buttons for Gen Con and handing them out to people in the show. So if you see myself, RJ, LB, Greybeard, anybody from Monday, Cyrewolf, Danae, they will all have buttons for you, buttons of their characters. And so if you collect all of those buttons, maybe you'll win a prize. And speaking of prizes, we are going to be holding a giveaway here pretty shortly, because we have almost hit 10,000 listens on our audio cast, which is insane to me. And we almost have 250 followers on the Twitch as well, which I think is really cool and is a weird personal milestone. So thank you for my spiel on this bit. With that in mind, alrighty, so, guys, who are you going to be playing tonight? I know it's been a while.
Hi, everybody. I'm RJ. I'm eating a burrito
because
I'm hungry. You caught me at the wrong time, friend.
You know how this works. We've been doing this for like a year now.
But he didn't have to start. He chose to start.
I didn't have to start or starve, but hi, I'm playing Hubris, the Tiefling Warlock Sorcerer.
Ooh. Hi, I'm LB. I'm playing Klee, also known as Ghost, the Shifter, Bloodhunter, Cleric. Barbarian! No, I'm kidding.
That's my line.
I stole your thunder!
I know. I'm old Greybeard, and I'm playing Kronk Gorblatz, Goliath Gladiator, Fighter, Barbarian. It's time to rage.
And as sometimes always, I guess, because one-shot Wednesdays are a thing, tonight I will be your Dungeon Master. I am the Indoor Adventurer, and you're watching Indoor Adventures. So, guys, last we left off, things got pretty hairy while you were in the Vault of Dragons underneath the Brandath tomb in Waterdeep. You guys ended up bluffing your way past a dragon, and in doing so, awarded yourself, or earned through various means, roughly 75,000 gold, as the entire 500,000 dragons that was stored was actually owed to the city, and well, when the city comes calling and starts demanding money, or else they'll arrest you and sentence you to years of hard labor, it's kind of just easier to give away the money that you didn't plan on having anyways. So you guys were able to keep 75,000 gold. However, some people did end up come calling to try and collect some of that money. For example, the Growlhound family contacted our dear friend Hubris and said that for the paltry sum of 5,000 gold pieces, that they would allow him to be a proper member of the Growlhound family, giving him access to all of the benefits that comes with being a Growlhound. And Hubris, I believe that you had said that you did end up paying that.
I'm Ulysses Growlhound now.
Yes, you are now, on paper, Ulysses Growlhound. Whether or not you go by that name is entirely up to you. You also were confronted by Froon of Froon's Brews, who is asking for a payment of 1,500 gold pieces, as he has found himself in debt with the Zentarum. And does not know about your current ties. Speaking of, only one of you is currently a member of the Zentarum. That, of course, being our dear friend Ghost. Kronk and Hubris were both recruited by Vajra the Blackstaff in order to join Force Grey, a Avengers-like protector over the majority of the realms. Now, where we are currently setting our story for today, our epilogue is going to be a year and a half in the future, but I would like for you guys to kind of lead me up to that point. Let me know what you're doing. So before we get into that, first the order of money. Again, Froon is asking for 1,500 gold pieces.
I would ask him who he owes that money to in the Zentarum.
And his response is,
It's a dwarven woman about yay tall. Goes by the name of Miss Horn, I believe.
Oh, Istrid. Oh, yes, we're very close.
Then maybe you could get her to just glaze over my debt.
You know, I think I might just do that. Why don't I make a deal with you, Froon? Since you owe Zentharum so much money, and since I am a member, why don't I... Actually, I'm quite a high-ranking member. Istrid helps us at the bar.
I see.
So, if you want to pay off your debts, perhaps we could strike a bargain, if Istrid is all right with it. I've tried your beer. It's fine for a IPA drinking all day sort of thing, but for nighttime we'll need something different. So why don't I purchase you a little bit of an upgrade on your equipment? You can sell me your beer at cost and pay off your debts that way.
And he gives you the most stormy look that this old man possibly can. And you see that he just kind of like throws his hands up at the prospect of it and just leaves the premises. After about a month after this exchange, you see that Froon's Bruins actually has a sign that is popped up onto its window. And it says, under new management. And after you go and see what the issue was, you find out that your dear friend Istrid actually purchased that plot of land from Froon. He no longer has a home on the streets of Waterdeep, as his business was also his place of residence. But now your manager is just down the street from her place of business, and has a bit of a respite. So she has taken up residence in Froon's Brews. And just to kind of add insult to injury, she refuses to change the name and also refuses to give Froon any of the royalties that he would accrue because of that.
I love her.
All right. Another person who comes up and asks you about the possibility of a potential loan is none other than, from a distance, it looks like Rainier, but as it gets as this person gets closer and approaches, you realize that it is actually it's actually Floon, the man that you rescued in order to set off this entire adventure. And he lets you know that he is in deep with his gambling debt. And if you guys could give him 500 of your gold, that he would be ever so grateful.
He would be ever so grateful?
That, yes, he would be extremely grateful if you were to give him the money to pay off his gambling debt.
I think Ghost would look at the other two and just be like, I feel like I should not be dealing with this one. I feel like I might be mean.
And he kind of
You
just...
see Hubris like hold up 2 fingers and then slowly disappear.
Kronk, it's up to you, dude. You're mean.
I know that you found all the money. What's 500 gold to people like you?
What skills do you have?
I'm pretty. I know
I can work
Volo.
with that.
I could work with that.
Says a disembodied voice.
Right from the ether.
And at that he looks like a little worried. Just
How about this? Kronk, do you have anything you'd like to say about it before I...
Just that, we were going to find out what skills he has and then let him work it off.
How are you at dancing?
I could dance. I could dance for you. I could dance the night away. And he just kind of has like this forlorn look.
But can you leave your friends behind? If your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, they're no friends of mine. Ha ha! Got that joke.
What are you talking about?
It would make this
Alright,
conversation a lot better if you weren't invisible.
Drop it.
If we give you 500 gold, then how about you owe us a favor?
What kind of favor?
Well,
And he
I
like
don't-
makes a motion with his hand like, favor? Or like, I dance for you kind of favor?
I'm sorry. Are you upset that you would want to have to sleep with me?
Just not really my type.
I'm gonna get a drink. Does anyone else want a drink? I'm gonna walk away.
I told you guys. That's all Kronk says.
He just kind of like tries to do a dance on the front steps. It does not go well.
Mm-hmm.
It does not go well.
It does not go well.
Not a good dancer.
No, he's not a good dancer.
I'm gonna leave it up to you guys.
He can work it off.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, so Floon graciously accepts your payment, and then proceeds to work at Spirits and Spirits. Or Hubris, you were using some of your money to create a secondary bar as well, correct?
Yes, down in the South Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, down in the South Ward, there is a building unique to Hubris. It's called the Horny Devil, and it is a brothel, bar, and basically, what's the word? Cabaret.
Okay. Yeah, so if Floon continues to work at Spirits and Spirits, you can freely send him off to the Horny Devil, and he owes you money now, and he does not have a strong enough will to fight whether or not you want to make him a dancer, an hourly lover, or just a server. He does not exude that strong of will.
I have him. I have him sit in the front and have him please sign the ledger.
Okay.
For now.
For now. All right.
Somebody needs to oil Kronk down during naked statue time.
That's Floon's job now.
That's Floon's job. We'll pay gold once a month.
Floon, not Froon.
Oh.
I mean, you could try, and Froon would probably just. Oh, EJ the Grey, thank you for the sub.
Yay! Do the thing.
All right. All right, EJ. So when people become subscribers, followers, or generally anytime we get a chance and I'm on the show, I take this maul and I hit that guy in the face.
It makes me so happy. So, yeah, you guys also get hit up by your dear friend Volo. Who ends up coming to the lot of you, and he asks for a generous donation of 5,000 gold. He has no plans of it being a loan, but he does let you know that this would fund his next expedition for his next greatest book, and you guys would be listed in the credits as patrons for this book, so you guys, you get that exposure listed in the credits for it. And he also does remind you that without him, you guys wouldn't have the sweet house and business, and probably would never have found the treasure like you did, except for by his good graces. So, and he kind of just makes a flourish with his hands and just, well, what'll it be?
What's the book about?
And he lets you know that this book is going to be, he is going to try and have it be nautical themed if possible. He needs to go sailing for a while in order to really get a good grasp on a lot of the marine life that surrounds the Sword Coast.
I lean up next to Ghost and I whisper, "Cast Zone of Truth."
I cast Zone of Truth.
Hey, Volo.
Please make a save.
Volo fails.
How many units did you sell on your last book?
I sold a decent amount.
Give me a number, darling.
Well, I'm not really the logistics kind of guy. I have people for that. That's why I need money, is for distribution costs. This isn't my first Zone of Truth, baby.
I might just pay him off of that.
$5,000. That's hardcore, man.
You would be paying. It would be a gracious donation for an absolutely wonderful cause. Have you guys heard of my Book of Monsters? Super successful. Super successful. I could give you all copies if that helps.
If
Free
you
book.
do research on boats as well,
Yes.
large boats, how they function, where their hulls would be, that sort of thing.
That would be part of the research of the book, yes.
then perhaps it's worth it.
Oh, yeah. Split it 3 ways, 1.6 grand each.
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
And Volo just kind of bows and says, I won't bother you again until it's done.
I hope so. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And he just smiles and takes his money, and you see that he kind of has a little sachet in his step as he continues to walk away. And he is actually the last person to come up and ask for money from you guys outside of the city proper. But that was more of a, where are you guys getting this money? The hidden tomb. And kind of like had to cough up the exact location of it. So now I would like for us to get into what have you guys been up to over the last year. If you'd like, I can either pick on people or you can volunteer yourself to tell me what has been up during this time.
I can start.
Sounds good.
So first thing Kronk and I would do is go to Devil and get the gems back because he stole those.
He did.
And then break out Nim, set him free to do it as he wishes. I don't care.
Or live with us.
I don't know. He's kind of like the evil twin.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, maybe we could scratch the goatee off him, and he'd be
Yeah.
okay.
I wonder if we could have him build. Would Hubris be okay with him building another Victor?
Oh,
It wouldn't be Victor, though.
It's a robot. It's fine. Just like when a cat dies, you could just get another one, right?
No. It just, there's so much wrong with that statement.
All right. Well, do you want him to build one or not? I was just going to park him outside of town.
That's fine.
All right. Yeah, we'll just park him outside of town.
Okay. Yeah, so you go and park Nim outside of town, and he just kind of like turns and looks at you and just very confused. And are you just saying like, go shoo, you're free now?
Yeah, I'm like, you have a life to live. Go do it.
Okay. Yeah, and he just sort of looks at the three of you and just gives you a solemn bow, turns on his heel, and just begins walking off to the north. Or actually to the... Did you guys leave him out the north gate or the south gate?
Whichever one.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say that it was towards the south gate, and he just begins making his way down the long road heading south.
Oh, look out for rain. It rusts you.
Should have gotten him an umbrella.
Well, we'll probably send him out with like 25 gold. Does he know how gold works?
Does he even need to have a function for gold? Is it like...
Well, he might need items, right?
True.
Okay, I'll send him with 25.
Okay.
A mere 25.
A paltry sum.
Oh, I hit the wrong button.
All right. So, yeah, you break out Nim, you send him off with some money. What else are you guys doing?
Hubris bumps into both his old friends, Clout and Cordial.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you find out that Cordial was working as a apprentice at a potion shop within Waterdeep, but her mentor, a gnome by the name of Schema Weirdbottle, just went missing one day, and she's not exactly sure what happened to him.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
And the three of you would know that Schema Weirdbottle was a member of the Zentarum, who had attempted to betray the Doom Raiders, and it did not go well for him.
Opened up a spot for me, though.
Kronk.
What's Kronk doing?
Math, which is hurting his brain.
Kronk.
Oh, he's in that.
Okay, there. I did math. I mathed
Yay!
So just to be sure, we gave each $6,000 out of our fundage.
No.
No.
1.6.
1.6 grand. Okay,
1,600.
I'll fix that later. Okay, so
No, we would not give $6,000. Are you kidding me?
$6,000 a piece to Vola. We'd be skipping down the road.
he's gone forever. All right. So Kronk joined Force Grey. He still works for Force Grey. Let's see. He got the death blow on Manchun. That was one of his proudest moments, and hence he becomes like a local celebrity. I mean, he had a little bit of fame for being a never defeated gladiator, but now he's like a local celeb. And then he goes back to some of his old ways, and he doesn't really date, but he I don't want this to sound wrong, but he rents himself out to individuals and parties. So that's
a gigolo.
He's a gigolo.
He moonlights at Horny Devil.
Yes, he moonlights at Horny Devil because, he's Kronk Gorblatz and can make a pretty penny at it and, get something out of it at the same time.
All right.
All right. He lives and teaches at the school for the wayward orphans.
Which
Not
we
yet.
will discuss.
No?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
This is
okay.
later.
All right.
This is just your first year. So this is probably
okay.
still you doing Force Grey stuff. We'll say that the Horny Devil is just getting started at this point.
Okay.
But it still does have some notoriety. So Kronk, you are still able to go there as well as rent yourself out for parties. Wink.
Oh, you'd be great for business.
Yeah. So the thing with Force Grey is that Kronk's kind of a inside man for Ghost's operation there, and so he tells Ghost what's going on with Force Grey and feeds Force Grey information about the Zents the other direction. So
But the ones that we want,
Right.
we want them to know.
right. So like when her network finds a group of Xanths, I then go to Force Grey and say, I got an informant told me where these Xanths are at. And they go, oh, okay, big guy. And they go, blah, even if they zone of truth me.
Yeah, it's
the
still the
truth.
truth. Yeah.
So that's sort of, he's been doing that at Force Grey. And to him, he's not betraying anyone. He's still going out and being a hero for Force Grey. So he's getting one of his life goals. Be a
Being a
hero.
big damn hero.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. So other than that, can we talk about some of the items we've gathered?
We will discuss those before we head out.
Okay. Yep,
So-
but that's what Kronk's been doing there.
Okay, so Hubris, what have you been doing during your year? What has happened with our dear boy?
Hubris takes Squidly to Hell Camp.
Yay! Hell Scouts!
Hell Scouts! Oh yeah, he's
Squidly loves Hell Scouts.
Oh no. So Hubris temporarily joined Force Grey, but then was like, nope, not for me. Peace out. I got to fight. Big guy's okay. And then he also immediately gets kicked out of the Zents.
Yeah, the Zents kick you out because you have proven yourself untrustworthy with secret information, such as the entire time that you were talking with Lord Rainier, and he didn't even pressure you at all, and you just kind of came forward with everything. They recognize that loose lips sink ships, and so they just politely, like, no, you're blacklisted from our organization. You...
Sorry.
Yeah. He was given two options. Because they had to remove the tattoo, which he had to think about. We should talk about that, huh?
Mm-hmm. So,
What?
Hubris, how does
Hello.
your tattoo come off?
Hubris is kidnapped by the Xanathar Guild.
What?
As he's leaving, he gets black-bagged and kidnapped and vanishes for a week.
Okay.
Yeah,
We go after him?
That you do.
Okay.
you do. You find him chained up in a Xanathar safe house, missing an arm. And as you open the door, he goes, "Lend a hand to a poor devil in need."
What the hell happened?
He got tortured,
What?
and they chopped off his arm because he was like, "I'm not a part of the Xantharum anymore." He's like, "Well, then you don't need this." Clack.
Which arm was it?
The one with the tattoo on it.
It was his righty.
Oh my god. What am
I
I,
was
gonna do with
gonna-
that?
I was gonna open up with arms for the poor, but that would have been poor taste.
I don't have a 7th level spell.
Look, we got the money for it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Restoration, regeneration, all that kind of thing.
He spends a few months recuperating and working on the arm Victor had left him, and then pops it in place.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Yes, so now Hubris has a robo hand.
Right. Ghost is weirded out by this.
If you don't want it on, I could just. He
Yeah,
pops
no,
it.
I think that's worse. Just put a glove over it or something. It's we try to resurrect Wolf.
Yes, we do.
You guys do go through the process of attempting to resurrect your dear friend Wolf, and as the spell goes off, it's successful, but the spirit is unwilling to return to the material plane. And
Bastard!
so, yeah, it would appear as if the effects of the hate cookies were strong enough that he is just not wanting to come back.
He noped the fuck out. Then we'll bury him. Do we know where his sister's buried?
He carried the hate into the afterlife.
He did.
That's how powerful hate cookies are. I told you guys they were awesome.
Awesome?
Well, sounds pretty cool to
You
Kronk.
know that Wolf's sister would have been buried in the she wouldn't have been buried in the City of the Dead, as that is that was too high class for where they were at the time. She would be buried out in the field ward in a much more public grave setting.
We'd bury him.
Okay.
Force him out for our homie.
Right. Anything else, Hubris?
I do have a list. It would happen later in the year,
Okay.
but Hubris does find his sister.
Yeah. That will be after the events of today.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who took your arm?
I don't know. It was Doc. There was like 4 of them.
I need names, darling.
I didn't really stop during the torture process to go, "Hey, by the way, my girlfriend's the head of the Xants. Would you give me your name so she can go hunt you down later?"
You know what?
Descriptions.
There's a saying: "Kill them all." Then you got it. Or wait,
No, the big
Kill
guy.
'em all. No, someone will sort them out. So yeah, something like that.
His name was Jeff.
Jeff. Name is Jeff.
Yep.
Papa Jeff.
Papa Jeff.
His name was Jeff Brindar.
Yeah,
human man.
Ghost is gonna start just killing Xantharum whenever she sees him.
Whoa.
You mean
Xanathar?
Xanathar?
And what the X guys?
Look, let's just say the full names. It makes it easier for everybody. Xanathar and Zentarum.
It doesn't not that much difference. the eyeball dudes.
He was an eye guy.
Eyeballs versus snakes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Ghost is also going to she's going to become a figurehead of the Zents. Is she going to get her new name?
That will happen later. That's more of a legacy kind of thing.
Yeah. And then one of her first orders of business is, okay, we need to get our names out of the system. Well, my name, and whoever else's. So use our connections with some of not the guard. Who's the one?
Oh, Davil has been working very, very heavily to purge the system of all of the Zent names. That's what he has been doing with his share of the gold from when you guys had initially found it.
Perfect. I'm gonna have a meeting with the other heads, and I'm gonna say, all right, we need to talk about branding here. I mean, physical branding and other branding. There's still another sect of Zents out there, right? There were 3. 2? Did we kill all the other ones at this point?
Just 2 sects.
Okay. Did we kill the other sect?
I'll say that with the information that Kronk has kind of been slipping into Force Grey, as well as your we're gonna purge them all. That at this point there might still be a handful of them, but there's not the same kind of amount of rival Zentarum agents that there were previously.
Okay, so we'd have to figure out a different system as far as tattooing people, because that's a big old symbol of hey, I'm a gang member. That's not cool. That's not. Maybe do magic branding where it's like a blacklight sort of thing that it only shows up under certain situations, or I don't know, something else, not that.
And you see that they all look at you, and they just kind of look at each other, and you see just some general nods. And they like the plan. They think that is a solid plan to incorporate an arcane mark as a form of branding rather than using ink or snake venom like they had been before.
Yeah. Jeez, come on, guys.
Look, they needed to expand aggressively in order to compete with the Xanathar Guild, but now that both guilds are no longer in that same kind of gang war that they were previously, mostly because of the connections between the Zentarum and Force Grey, that they are totally fine with going through this rebranding process. It will take some time to get everybody up to speed, as I have learned is always the trouble with rebranding. So escapism, super fun.
It's fine. Ghost is patient.
Yeah.
And then she has minions, and she's going to be training the kids.
She does. Yeah. You guys finally get Squidly his magical book, and Jenks his magical book, and he begins the long, arduous process of becoming a wizard.
Mm-hmm.
A wizard.
Lots of fires had to put out in the house recently.
Yeah. That's why you make him practice in the stone room downstairs. It's sort of like your X-Men hangar, where it's a contained spot. It's okay. So, you guys, is there anything else that you would like to have had happen in this first year and a half?
No, not in the first year.
Okay. So, with that, you guys are... It is a chilly morning. It is fall. The leaves have begun to turn orange, and it's a very relaxing day. Or actually, sorry, Ghost, there was one thing that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that was hunt after Father Lewitt, a man who you have a very sordid past with. And from our conversations previously, you had gone to his home finally after the events that had transpired, and thought to yourself, this is it. This is going to be the time where I finally kill this asshole. You broke into his house, and when you did, you found it empty, except for a note that had been propped up on the table that was actually addressed to you. And the note said, if you want me, come and find me. Upon talking with the members of the Spire of Mourning, they told you that Father Lewitt was making his way towards Baldur's Gate. Now, over the last year, you have sent out your agents. You have sent out your own personal
minions.
Yes, your retinue of Zentarum agents throughout the realms to find out if this was true. And it turns out that why would he tell you why would people go to the exact place that they were being sent to? So instead, you have found that he is actually currently residing in Mirabar, a town far to the north that will take you at least a month's travel to actually get up to that location. On this fine fall day, Ghost, you have just received the report about the last known location of Father Lewitt, or as he is currently calling himself, the father of the new sun, or Rising Sun de la Roche. Kronk, you are currently in Blackstaff Tower. It has been a long day of cleaning up the street, or it's been a long week of cleaning up the streets of all of these rogue Zentarum agents, of all of these Xanathar agents, of the late nights spent at the Horny Devil. And Vajra approaches you and says that she has a mission that she needs you to take care of. And she is giving you this as your first lead mission. She is trusting you to form your own team and to go and take care of the issue. And the issue that she lets you know of is that there is a problem far to the north in the town of Mirabar, where she believes that this priest, has stolen kegs of smokepowder from Waterdeep and has actually placed them around the undercity of Mirabar, as the city of Mirabar is a two-leveled city, one with a more human, elven-friendly city up top, and then below ground is a dwarven city. And this man, Rising Sun de la Roche, actually is planning on setting off those kegs of smoke powder underneath the city to level it, to turn the top city and bottom city into a crater of where this town once was. And Vajra is, again, just entrusting you because she knows that you are good on your word and that you do work that make the realms proud. And she is willing to send you off with a little bit of extra pay, so that way when you come back after a successful job, that she is going to try and see about getting you to be more like a guard captain within the city, if possible, or at least boost you through the ranks to some more official standing. If you continue to work for Force Grey, you will have more amenities open to you for this kind of locale, as well as have a wider range of jobs, as this seems as the heroes that she would normally call upon, Archon the Cruel, Rosie Beestinger, even Jamila, they are all currently off in Cholt dealing with, and she just kind of looks at you and says, a thing. And you know that means something to do with dark, powerful magic that you were not prepped for at all. So, Kronk, who is your crack team that you are going to be traveling north to Mirabar with?
And does it have to be Force Grey members?
No, she is. She is giving you team captain's rights. Assemble your team. If they are members of Force Grey, they will receive renown in Force Grey. If they are not members, just don't let them know that this is a Force Grey matter, as they try and keep it to be a more secret organization kind of deal. But like, that is the element that she is going with here. And Ghost, your reports from your Zentarum agents have also let you know about these large, about how Rising Sun Delaroche has planted these kegs of smoke powder throughout Mirabar.
Cool.
Yes, so Kronk,
So-
go for it.
Yeah, I guess I would. So I got to talk to some of them, see if they can make the trip, because it is a far ways away. But I would like to take Klee, Hubris, and
Nobody knows my real name.
oh,
Kronk
what
does.
name are you going? What name are you going by?
Ghost?
You are still going by Ghost.
Yeah.
Okay. We must have talked, and you said a new name, blah blah. So I
She
was.
did.
Oh yeah. I have a new name that's for later.
Okay. All right. So Ghost, Hubris, and who else do we know that I could take?
Ghost has a few people that she would be able to bring. All of the Doom Raiders are currently busy doing their own thing.
Okay. Alright.
But
'Cause-
I will say that there are four of Ghost's Zent retinue that are willing to join in for this trip, as this does pertain to an order from their higher up.
I mean, I could always hire out.
It's fine. They listen to me. They're well trained.
Do they need weapons at least? Yeah, they're fine. They're your people.
All right.
Cool.
All right. So, yeah, I guess I would say Ghost and Hubris, and then some minions.
Non-vital party characters.
Some strays we picked up along the way. Carry our stuff.
Alrighty.
And once she said the whole about a hero and it's your job and whatever, his cloak just started waving in no wind all by itself, dramatically, and we have to talk about this sword thing, but his sword might have started humming and playing a tune also, like some glorious music as he stands there,
Awesome.
absorbing this attention that he craves so badly.
And you get it. You get it
All right.
absolutely no prob. So, yes, you have managed to get a hold of your team, and it's getting the gang back together, at least as well as you possibly can. So, you guys set out on the long road, heading up north towards the area known as the 10 Towns, towards the spine of the world. But over that time, you guys all, while you were in Waterdeep, you managed to pick up some pretty sweet gear, which I'm sure you all probably either bought together or have at least shown each other at some point. So, what items did you guys buy? What did you do with all that money to boost yourself for this? As LB once said, Ghost is very pay to win right now.
Yep.
So you want to start off?
Yeah.
Sure. I got a Cloak of Elven Kind, which gives me advantage on my stealth checks. And then anyone who's trying to look for me has disadvantage on their perception checks. I got the Iron Brands of Brillo. It's a thing that Percy has, but she has it on a ring, so she can woo! Remember? Oh, that was. It's like the Green Lantern sort of thing, but it's chains and stuff. It's cool. Basically, it just wraps someone in these iron bands, and they have to get a 20 on their strength check to break out of them. Yeah, Kronk can do it. And then she got a smoldering armor breastplate, so when she dons it, it's just billowing smoke around her. What she
Nice.
loves.
So metal.
I know, super metal. And then let's see what else. I got an amulet of alter self, which she can use to change her appearance, which she does a lot of the time when she's going out to just fix her eye so that it doesn't draw too much attention. And a ring of truth telling, so she can tell when people are lying to her. Yeah. Look out, boys.
Kronk, don't lie.
That's true.
All right, and Kronk, what fun toys did you buy for yourself?
So I took them off of D&D Beyond, but there are things I want to kind of talk to you about. So I mixed I paid for it, but I mixed the Cloak of Billowing with the Cloak of Displacement.
Ooh.
So
I like it.
it's this like, black cloak with a red inlining, and it's got, like you could still see the displacer tentacles coming off of it.
Nice.
And when you don it or activate it, you become a little blurred, a little like you're not really where you are, and so attacks have disadvantage against you. So it's powerful, but it's an uncommon magic item. So I was like, okay. And Kronk always had his big purple elven boots, so that one I did not pick up. But I bought it as a flame tongue, but I'm wondering if I could have it as a thunder tongue.
Yeah,
a great
totally
sword.
fine with that.
All right, it just does thunder damage instead. And then because of that, do you want me to change the resistance from fire to thunder?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So then for me, instead of like shining light in a big area, it plays this like glorious, like humming thunderous music, like instead.
It's metal.
Exactly. So instead of having light like the flame tongue does, it causes sound. So it can be like this boom boom, these big noises for sound effecty goodness.
Okay.
I thought that'd be very Kronk. And then the last thing I got was the adamantine breastplate.
Ooh.
I picked that up because it doesn't have disadvantage for sneaking. So now Kronk, all 600 pounds of him and 8 feet tall, has advantage while sneaking. And because it's adamantine, I don't take critical hits.
Nice.
Yeah, love it. And that's the stuff I picked up.
All right. So, Hubris, what'd you get during your... what kind of fun things did you end up picking up?
I got a new arm. And he's been modifying and changing it up, and that'll come into play later on. But not infused, but basically it functions as also a ring of spell storing. So I have a few fun things stored in there, and I also picked up a bracer of flying daggers, which basically, as a bonus action, I pull 2 daggers and I can throw them, and it'll just up my damage. I didn't really think too far ahead.
That's Hubris, though.
He's Hubris. He also got a mithril breastplate, so...
You all have breastplates now? That was
Medium
like
armor proficiency. Come on.
I know, that was like the main takeaway with all these characters. It's just like, oh my god, we're rich now. Breastplate. Like, Emmerich and Avi are just elated by this.
Oh, Hubris has commissioned Emmerich and Avi to work on the arm, so it looks glorious.
Oh yeah, Avi loved it. Emmerich, like... was just one of those, like, why can't it ever be simple with you people? But then you were like, breastplate. Like, okay, that's simple. So they were able to work together to get you all of the goodies that you needed. So you guys have traveled now for a month, kind of just catching up on just different things that you guys have kind of been through. And your Zentarum guards / retainers they're keeping their distance. They sort of seem to just sort of be talking amongst themselves, and every once in a while you'll hear them kind of like retelling the story about how you guys got past the dragon, or one of them will just be like, no, I heard that they killed it and then they took all the treasure, and like they just seem to have like this small rumor mill of what happened going between them. Yes, Ghost.
Okay, I named them.
Okay, what are their names?
Finn,
Okay.
with a PH.
Wow.
Gil.
With a
Torin.
PH.
No. And Schmear.
Schmear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Finn has large claw marks across his throat that are very deep, that have healed. It seems like it's been a few months since they took place, but he is the most attentive
He is
when it
now.
comes to ghosts giving orders. Yes,
Okay. So Finn,
he's the one who smacked my ass first day.
he
It worked
had
out
to-
real well for him.
He had to learn. All right. So Finn, Gil, Torin, and Schmear. Gross
Hubris
name.
like leans back, and as they're talking, he goes, "Actually, no. We all slept with the dragon and then killed it.
Their eyes just,
Dragon form, not human form."
they all look back and just, how would that? You're the boss.
It was magical.
Fist bump. Clink.
Long sigh.
All right, so you guys travel up the long road through the town of Luskin, and then where the long road branches off into both the high road and the long road, you take the high road that leads all the way to Mirabar. And you pass through a very small town known as Red Larch along your way. And as you pass by, Ghost, you see that there is a sign hanging above a small tavern that is named the Drawn and Courtier. And you see that it says Acquisitions Incorporated, Red Larch Branch. And you kind of get the sneaking, like, that sparks something in you, kind of remembering, like, oh, right. Acquisitions Incorporated recently opened up they've been operating out of Waterdeep for a while now. And kind of like poking your head in, you can see that there is a woman who is just decked in this, it almost looks like she is just ready for battle at any moment. And as you kind of look in, she just sort of peers over it, just, can I help you? You're muted.
I don't remember who these people are as a player.
So just, you know that you would think, anyways, you've never met these people before, but you saw the Acquisitions Incorporated sign up above, and you know that Omen Drawn is the worst kept secret in all of Waterdeep.
Oh, right. Okay.
He is the masked lord that everyone knows.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pop in and just. I'm sorry, you Acquisitions Inc. I've heard of you before. I wanted to pop in.
What'd my son do now?
Oh, nothing.
That's
You're whose
Prophet.
mother?
Omens.
Oh, I see. He seems like a lovely gentleman. Have I met him yet?
No, you would not have met Omen.
He seems. I've never met him personally, but he is well known.
She just kind of silently nods and just, yep. It's my boy.
So you own this establishment?
Just nods again. She says, well, the bar part.
Oh, lovely. A drink, please, boys.
Yeah, and you guys kind of stay and have a very you have a very brief kind of stay at this Red Larch branch of Ack Inc. And looking around, you can see that there is a very large portrait of a wizard wearing all purple robes And underneath in fancy letters, it just says Jim Dark Magic on it. And
Fucking Jim.
You have heard the tales of Jim Dark Magic, of the New Hampshire Dark Magics before. And man, this place just lowered itself on a few levels. The beer that you end up getting is actually very nice. It's very smooth. It's a deep reddish color. And it is, it seems like this is the only place that actually sells this kind of beer. And the woman, again, who's just decked out looking ready for battle, she doesn't seem particularly talkative. And as you guys finish up and kind of, and you pay for your drinks as well, and it's pittance at this point. And as you guys are leaving, you actually cross paths with a very elderly halfling, a darker skinned wood elf, a blue skinned drow that looks like he has facial hair, but on closer inspection you can see that it looks like fungus has actually started to grow onto his face. And then you also see that there is just a large golden dragonborn with a tiny tail who is just rubbing his tummy saying, "I'm the best!" And they seem to be making their way into the Red Larch branch. And you guys just like, okay, and hop onto your cart. And as you're passing their cart, you see that it looks like this large, ridiculous looking mega hearse almost. And in front of it, leading it, is actually just a large metal ball that just rests on the ground. And you're not really sure what's going on with any of that.
We need to get us one of them. That's pretty cool.
And you guys make your way up towards Mirabar. And once you get towards Mirabar, that is, as you're approaching, you see that the top layer of this city has has a lot of sparse buildings placed throughout. There seems to be shops. There is a central thoroughfare, but it doesn't seem like it's that busy of a city. You actually see that there is a large tavern building that has what looks to be a sliding door built into the side of it, and it's called the Broadside. And as you come up to the broadside of this bar, they actually pull the large wall away, and it looks like it was on small wheelies. And as it's pulled away, you see kind of just this more open floor plan for a bar, and it's full of people that are just kind of enjoying their day.
We are in Mirabar?
You are now in the town of Mirabar. You are on the upper city, though. And what you are aware from the information that you have gathered is that there is an undercity, and that is where all of the kegs of smokepowder have been placed. Asking around, all these humans and other top dwellers that don't really have dark vision, they all motion you to these stone staircases that actually lead deep underground that have kind of been built up into a more into what almost looks like how you guys have gone through the City of the Dead before. It looks like there are guards stationed there, and they seem to just kind of be just watching people come and go. It looks like they are more there to stop any kind of rabble-rouser than they are meant to stop any kind of intruder. So, what would you guys like to do?
As soon as we get into the city, disguise self to make myself look human.
Okay.
So I blend in. Darling, you should probably do the same.
Okay. So, Kronk, are you disguising yourself at all?
Nah.
All right. Yeah, so the 7 of you, including your 4 Zents, enter into the lower city of Mirabar. And as you get beneath the surface of the earth, The surface of Toril, as it is known, not Earth, because that's people terms for the real world, which is lame. And as you guys descend down these steps, you see a sprawling city in front of you that runs deep to a central point in a cavern. And you can see that the city itself is illuminated, not just by what looks to be a large magma flow that is actually part of this city, or located within this undercity, but you also see that there are amber lamps that are set up throughout the city that all seem to be powered by gaslight, at least in some form of fashion. That seems to be just shedding this gentle glow throughout the city. And as you're here, as you are making your way underneath the city, it gets very warm. And that's probably due to a lack of proper ventilation coming from the magma flows that are located not too far off. But you see that underneath the city is a plethora of races. There are dwarves, there are gnomes, there are halflings, there are elves. There just seem to be a mixture of races. There are even a few tieflings that are kind of just running around doing their tiefing best to just maintain an air of no trouble. And as you guys continue to look around, the Zent agents that you were with turn to you, Ghost, and say, Finn specifically just says, we're going to go and see if we can find any of these kegs.
That'd be perfect. Thank you, darling.
He just bows and says, where would you like for us to reconvene?
Do we know of any taverns in the town?
You only know the one on the surface, which was the broadside.
All right.
Hey, you, where can I get a drink? I just point at someone on the street.
And as you point, it's just this startled little gnome.
He says, you can always go to Taskar's Tap House. They have the best brews in Mirabar.
Where is it?
He just points in a direction. You seem very large and imposing. And Finn...
It's like the size of your foot.
And Finn actually walks up to him, and you see that Finn hands this gnome a few gold and says, maybe you could take the lady there. And the gnome just looks at the gold, looks up, and just,
Yeah, okay.
and Finn, Gil, Torin, and Schmear all bow to you once more, and you see them just sort of dissipate into the crowds making their way there.
And as they do that, Ghost and Hubris and Kronk just see Ghost like, she's so giddy when they're so polite to her. She fucking loves it.
And then Kronk will be like, see, you're awesome, little man. Stick by us. You'll be all right.
I mean, I have work I need to get back to eventually, but I mean, gold's gold.
Yeah, let's move this along.
Yes, of course.
And he begins making your way, and you guys make your way to the Gilded Quartz meadery. Or not the Gilded Quartz, sorry, Taskar's Tap House.
Mm-hmm.
And as you guys get to Taskar's, what is everyone's passive perception?
Oh, it's my forte.
Damn.
Bless. 17.
Okay, and Kronk, what do you got?
I'm a 10 also.
Okay, so as you guys are...
Oh, except I have alertness. Cannot be surprised.
Okay.
So
yeah, as you guys are making your way to Taskar's Tap House, and you finally manage to get a seat, the gnome waves you goodbye. Ghost, as you guys, as you're enjoying this drink, and it's a very fine honey brew. It seems like it is, it's not really a mead, but it seems like a very sweet ale. Perfect for the hot weather that you guys seem to have found yourself in. But you, see that there is an individual who walks by in the crowd, and for the rest of your party members, they don't really notice it, but you see the symbol of a sun on their shoulder patch, and it looks like this gold outlined black sun. That looks like it is... the sun at the base is almost set in half, so it looks like either a setting or a rising sun. You aren't exactly sure. But, Ghost, you being the one to have seen this, you actually recognize this symbol from the interactions that you've had with your Zentarum agents, and you know that this is the symbol of the new sun.
Oh, of Lythander?
No. This is of...
a monitor?
A monitor, yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I get confused because... And he's Lythander, or he might not. It's part of him. I don't know. Ghost doesn't know, but just making sure. Okay. Ghost stands up and starts walking away very quickly.
And as you do, a dwarf server just comes over. Hey, you didn't pay your bill!
I slide some gold onto the table.
And I just out of habit, Kronk's up and following along.
Sorry, they've got the runs or some shit. I don't know.
We have internalized plumbing. It would have been fine. But this dwarf server graciously accepts your gold and begins clearing your table as you guys begin heading off. So I'd like for everybody to make stealth checks as you follow this individual.
Would you?
I would.
Okay.
I think it'd be fun.
Okay.
High heels clicking.
Nope, not anymore.
Oh, the bone circle has a knot. Okay, we're good.
Rolling at advantage.
Yes.
I got a 16.
I got a 14.
Okay.
I'm a cloak. But if he's trying to spot me, he has disadvantage.
Oh, there it is. So,
And Kronk.
yep.
Wait, no.
So,
Never mind. Different things.
stealth. So that's a 16, or because I have advantage now. Thank you, Purple Boots. 16 stands.
Okay. Yeah, this figure does not seem to notice you at all. And he begins making his way actually out of the Undercity, and he begins heading up towards the surface. And as you guys follow, you do a pretty good job of just maintaining this distance between the two of you. And once, upon following him out and keeping a clear distance, you actually see that this figure enters into what looks to be a large church that has been built up. And this church looks new. It looks like it has been built within the last year or so. And painted in very bright colors, although it is hard to be bright when your primary color is black. You see the symbol of this rising sun painted onto the door as this figure, who you had seen with the patch on their shoulder, makes their way and then ends up going inside of this building, shutting it behind them.
Well, that was easy. I don't like how easy that was.
Never is.
That don't feel right. Probably don't have a cabbage cart down here. I'll find something to throw through the building.
Oh, no. We wanted to do this stealthily. Remember, they do have bombs all over the city.
All right.
They have what?
Did you not read the brief?
There was a briefing?
Hubris. We've been speaking about this for a month.
I thought that was just some weird play you wanted to do. Like, oh, there's a bomb. We have to defuse. You know what? No one tells me anything.
Yeah, so I'm going to pop the amulet, change my shape from what I was being a human. I will change it into a tiefling.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'll just change it into a different human. I want to be a man.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay. All right, question. Just we're off to the side. Why would worshippers of the sun be in an underground city?
You guys are above ground.
Just kidding.
Currently, you are.
Oh, we followed him
you
above
followed
ground?
him above ground.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Yes.
Cool.
And I thought I was the one who wasn't briefed on the mission.
You guys have followed him above
Okay.
ground, exited
okay.
the city,
Good.
and then to the Sun Temple.
Right. Okay, cool. Is there anything around?
You see that there are a few smaller buildings that look like they're primarily residential, and you can see kind of down the road, maybe about a quarter mile, is the Broadside, the bar that you guys have recognized coming in.
Okay. Would someone like to go check it out?
It's all right.
I'm always down for a little recon.
All right. Is it a standalone building?
It is.
Then I would like to are there any paths that go along it?
You see that there is actually a side path that extends out, and it looks like it goes towards a tool shed, possibly an outhouse that is located around the back. And it seems like it's been traveled to, not recently, but still enough by what you're assuming is the clergy that it has created this almost game trail-like aesthetic.
Cool. I would like to walk along that and look as inconspicuous as possible. Oh, Kronk, dear.
Yeah.
Would you mind keeping a lookout on the front door?
Yeah, I'm good at that.
Do you remember what he looks like?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Shall we
Okay.
walk?
And so then Kronk just does his squat sit kind of thing and sharpens a blade or something an adventurer would do.
Okay. Kronk, make a stealth check.
All right.
And then Ghost, make a stealth check as well.
Even with advantage, that's a 6.
Eh.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
that's sweet.
I am stealthy as the day is long.
All right. And Hubris, what are you doing during this time?
I thought I was checking out the building.
All right. So you were checking out the building. Ghost, you were checking out... and Hubris, are you checking out the perimeter of the building, or are you going inside?
I want to double check. Am I going inside?
Honor do. That's what. Does he want to?
Yeah, he's walking around the perimeter of the building to see if there's any way he can get in without the front door.
Okay. So what you end up finding is that there is a door to a larder that seems to be off on the side of this building. And there is a lock on it. It seems like this is a general precaution to just not let anybody in, also to keep out animals. You've seen this kind of larder before. And Ghost... What? Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
And Ghost, as you are making your way towards the back, are you poking your head inside of this tool shed at all?
Oh no, I was trying to look in the windows of the actual building.
Okay. So make a perception check.
For the larder, is the lock inside or outside?
The lock appears to be outside.
Oh, not great. 13.
Okay. So as you peek inside, you see what looks to be about 4 individuals, and they are all talking amongst themselves. And you see that there are 3 of these younger-looking individuals, and then there is a older individual that is talking to them, and he seems to be just kind of having this very nice conversation. It doesn't look like there's anything malicious in his intent. And as he speaks, the three that are listening occasionally laugh or put in their 2 cents. And this figure has what looks to be thick black hair. And then there is still a beard that is on this figure's face, but you also see that it has been darkened. And with your check, roll again as you see this figure.
God, stop this dice. That's lower. That's a 12.
Okay.
Wait. Yes. Math.
Okay. This figure does look very similar to the Father Lewitt that you knew. You're not sure if it's the same person or not, but they look very similar.
Okay. What does the room look like on the inside?
On the inside, you can see that there is a stone dais that rests in the back of the back of the room towards where these individuals are talking. And you can see that there are wooden pews that are set out, and it seems like there is two rows of 3 that extend out and kind of create a central walkway. And looking through the window as well, you can see that it leads to a longer hall that would go towards the front door. And against the back wall, there is actually a concave, is what it is, because caves go in. There is a concave just resting place for what you see is a stone statue of make a religion check.
Rum pa pum pa pum pa pum. Religion would be a 6.
This looks... There's a lot of sun stuff on this guy. Like, he has, there seems to be a 5-pointed crown that is extending past his back. You see that holding in in 2 clenched fists is just this long spear that looks like it has a standard kind of falling down from it. And the standard itself is fabric. And along this fabric, you can also see that there is the symbol of this rising sun, just this black and gold 5-pointed star.
Cool. A lot of sun stuff. But I know the symbol, so I can assume that this is a church of the Deuter. Do the boys look like they are like priests in training, or just rando?
They look like
human?
They're priests in training.
Okay. All right.
And Hubris, as you kind of continue walking around as well, I'd like for you to make a perception check as you kind of peek into one of these windows. Perception or religion, either way.
Oh. 3.
Okay, never mind.
Recon.
Yep.
Going great.
And as you guys kind of reconvene to exchange the information that you've gained, that is where we are going to go into our first break of the evening. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by and enjoy our little epilogue that we're throwing. I love this crew. I like Waterdeep, and I won't run Waterdeep again for a while. Just because it was an entire module, but someday I will, and when it does, I am going to put these characters into my Waterdeep, because you guys exist there as permanent figures of my Forgotten Realms, god dang it.
Woo.
So, with that in mind, we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to bit.ly/adventure merch. I was going to show my shirt, but it's not that. If you want to grab yourself a mug, dragons were the friends we made along the way, or a Moon Maiden shirt, or if you want to get a lot of other awesome merch as well, then you can totally do that, including our Waterdeep mug shots, which are the 15-ounce mug that has a character's face on it. It's pretty rad. So again, we are going to try and be back shortly, so don't go no place, and we will see you guys soon. All right, everybody. Bye-bye! button. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We've returned from our break with our dear friends standing outside of the Temple of the Rising Sun, where you are discussing the things that you saw inside. So, feel free to let each other know the things that you've seen.
So there's a larder.
A what?
A larder.
What's
Like
that?
a cellar area.
Oh, out back?
Yeah.
Did you look in the shed?
I was never told to. There was a shed?
Scoot. Turn invisible so they don't see you, darling.
Oh, but those are so valuable, though. Thinking into his, like, spell slots.
Oh, are they? I thought, for some reason, I thought he just did it all the time.
He did.
He did.
He did.
But we reset. Everything should be reset now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fine.
Thank
Steps
you.
away.
And she'll give him a kiss on the cheek.
All right, so Hubris, you turn invisible and you head out back towards the shed. And when you go to grab at the door handle that's on there, you actually see that it's locked. And it seems like it is a key lock that is required, or a key is required in order to pass.
I circled the shed. Are there any, like, gaps that I can, like, look into?
Make a perception check as you kind of poke around.
Yeah. Oh, why was I ever using my Calum dice? 16.
Okay. Yeah, so you see that one of the boards on this shed actually has an eye hole, not like meant for someone peeking in, but kind of where the wood gets knotted and then just has that just small hole that you can actually see through. And looking in with your dark vision as you kind of peer around, you see that there is an assortment of tools that are there. There seems to be just farm tools, but on the ground, as you kind of look at it, you think that there's a trap door.
Interesting. Gonna step... Yeah. Gonna step back to the rest of the group. There's a trap door in the tool shed.
Is it a trap door in a tool shed?
Yeah, so there's probably like an underground thing.
Ooh. Sounds devious.
Maybe it's full of bombs.
Ooh.
I'd rather not think about that.
All right. Shall we venture down?
Sure, but it's locked, so you're gonna have to give me a second.
All right. We'll give you a minute head start.
Oh, but it looks so much cooler if you guys watched.
Okay. Well, I love to watch.
Lump, lump, lump.
How old does the lock look?
It looks pretty fresh. Same with all of the construction of the buildings around. It seems like this lock is maybe about a year old. No real rust or any other issues.
Gonna drop my invisibility. Can't believe I'm doing this. Well, no, I can take a short rest. Yeah, that's fine. He walks to the side with the hole
Okay.
and peers through it. And while they're waiting there, he just goes, "Well, now you see me," and he misty steps into the area.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sexy.
And I'm just gonna unlock the door from the other side.
Yeah, sounds good. And it's fairly easy to be able to do this. Locks from the inside are always easier to open. And so very quickly, you just open up the door, and Kronk and Ghost, you see Hubris just kind of standing there in front of you.
Ta-da!
Lovely. Shall we?
I'm your man on the inside. What? Yes. Okay.
Do you have message?
Wish that I did love.
I didn't pick up those earrings. Not that that would help us very much. And kind of wanted to do this solo anyways. All right, well, let us travel down. Close the door behind us and check the trapdoor for traps.
Okay. Make a investigation check.
Is this Fae, Fiend, or undead?
It is a god. No, it's just wood.
Okay.
Celestial.
Oh.
Mahogany.
Mahogany.
What am I doing?
It's actually made of the larch trees. So
I got distracted by
yeah, investigation.
Investigation
Yes.
is +4. It's a 19.
Okay. Yeah, so with your 19, you even drag your nail around the outside of where you think that this door would be, and nothing triggers. There does not seem to be any traps.
Boop.
Okay, so yeah, you guys flip up the door and you see that there is a wooden ladder that leads to what appears to be an underground tunnel that just sort of extends outward, and you don't see any lights. You don't see any. You just don't see any lights, but you just see that it kind of extends forward, and the ceiling looks like it is maybe about 6 feet tall, and width-wise, Kronk, you are going to have to get very small in order to get through this.
All right, I pull the sword out, and I'm gonna have to drag it, and I get small.
Just don't make a line in the sand, dear.
Nope.
Cross any lines in the sand.
All right. And you guys continue down.
Kronk doesn't understand.
Kronk is the only one without dark vision, correct? Or do Goliaths have dark vision?
No, we don't. We don't.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are going to need to get a light source in order to progress through here.
Ooh, nope, that's not what I want. I don't have anything for light besides a torch.
So got your claws.
Oh, I guess, yeah, I could light my claws. I just take off my eye patch.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
You lower your alter self spell. You see the vision of the eye patch that Ghost had on just fades away, and you see Ghost as she really is. With her burning eye. And you guys make your way deeper into this tunnel. And as it goes, you see that it winds for about 100 feet or so. And as you reach the end, it opens up into a much larger, almost circular room that has that looks like it has just been carved into the stone underneath the surface of the ground. And looking around, you can see that there are maps. There are maps to the city of Mirabar, both on the surface and on the undercity below, that have been plastered against these walls and just kind of stuck up. You see that there is a lantern on a table. And I would like for you guys to make perception checks as you continue to kind of scan around this room.
16.
23.
15.
Okay, so the three of you actually see that in the light that is being shed from Ghost's claws, that on the map of the Undercity, it almost looks like a stain. And this stain is just this large central blotch, and then it extends outward into these 5 different points. And as you look at it, you see that it's not really a stain at all. It's actually a symbol. And as you look at this symbol, Ghost, make a religion check.
I don't even have to. I know what's up. I know what's up. With my religion check, I got a 13.
You would recognize this symbol to be the symbol of Bane.
Oh, shit.
You see that, and then kind of placed around, you see that there are other symbols of what looks to be a clenched fist, where others are a open palm, all of them black, and this large black palm has actually been placed onto Mirabar. And you see that there are X's drawn on the finger points of where they reach. And you see that there are names that are written on each of these X's at the finger points. One is Berrigan's Bathhouse. The other is the Gilded Quartz Meadery. There's the Bronzefire Mine and Refinery, Morden's Beard Barbershop, and Taskar's Tap House. And you think that these line up with points of structural integrity throughout Mirabar, and you're pretty sure that these are the locations of the kegs of smoke powder that you guys have been sent to kind of diffuse. And I would like for you guys to make perception checks as you are all kind of looking at this.
15.
9.
6.
Okay. So, yeah, as you guys are taking this in, you see, like, you can't tell if it's your vision kind of focusing in, getting used to this dim lighting, or the room is possibly getting brighter. And as you are just taking in this map and kind of realizing what's going on, you hear the sound of a latch being closed. And as you turn behind you, you see that there are 3 individuals wearing these dark black robes that with their symbol of the rising sun on their chest. Just this half mound that has these 5 points coming off of it. And now that you see it up close and you see the symbol of Bane on the wall and you see the symbol on their chest, this isn't a sun that they have been wearing, that they have been promoting. This is actually a symbol of this tyrannical deity. And Ghost, you know that Bane is the primary enemy of Asuran, of your deity.
Oh.
And
Shit.
you see this figure, this dark bearded figure, thick dark hair, standing behind these figures, and he seems to be wearing much more regal clothing. And he says, I always knew I would find you here. You were always good at tracking, weren't you?
What can I say? It's a talent.
Well, I believe it's time you picked up a new talent. Dying. And he is going to raise his fist up and clench it. And as he does, you see that there is just this deep black energy that goes through the veins of his hand that begin to radiate. And as he stretches his hand out, he is going to summon spirit guardians amongst the, or try to. Hubris.
He does the same and says, "Hey Galore, you're up," and counterspells it.
I'm so happy we stayed together, Hubris.
Me too.
And so, yes, you will counterspell. I would like for everybody to roll initiative in this underground tunnel.
Dun 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 dun.
Dirty 20.
Dirty boy.
Gross.
Would that technically be a surprise round?
That was the surprise round, yes.
Krog and I get to act on surprise rounds.
When you, yes, that is true. So,
19 for initiative.
Well, we don't have to. I'm just saying.
yeah, no, because the way that it would work is that by the time that Hubris then counterspells, the surprise round is over. And
Yeah.
so it's then just standard combat. So,
That's fine.
then these blokes got that. And then what did Ghost get?
A 17.
Nice.
I rolled a 9.
Damn, Kronk, what'd you get?
19.
Okay. And Hubris, what'd you get?
Hubris is speaking.
Dirty 20.
Ooh. That's right. So, at the top of the round, Hubris, you've just seen these 4 figures step down into the tunnel and attempt to cast magic.
How far are they?
They are only about 20 feet away from where you guys are. It's a very contained area.
As he's turning to Ghost, and he's like, on his jacket, he has like these zippers that he pulls back to reveal like the metal arm, and then the sleeves fold back into like this little cape.
Mm-hmm. Cute.
So you want that one, right?
Please.
He points his hand, palm outstretched, and casts catapult through it.
Nice.
And it detaches and fires outward.
Okay.
All right. I forget his name, but I'm getting Devil May Cry vibes off this.
Nero.
No idea. Nero.
All right. Yes. So, what is the save?
Dexterity save, DC 15.
All right. He rolled a 16, so he does save.
Sad face. I'm going to use a sorcery point to quicken my lightning lure spell. So
Does he take anything from?
I don't think it takes anything on a miss. Let me see. On a failed save, the object strikes the target and stops moving. When the object strikes something, oh, okay. What? Yeah, so he takes no damage.
Okay, got it. And then lightning lure.
I'm going to lightning lure him. So I'm gonna. God, there's so much tabs I have to go through. Quicken spell, lightning lure, which is my cantrip. He has to make a DC 15 strength check.
Okay. So strength. That's a nat 1.
Yes. The fist doesn't hit him, but it like wraps itself around his throat, and Hubris yanks backwards and pulls him 10 feet forward.
Yeesh. Okay. So yeah, he gets yoinked 10 feet forward. So
He takes a D8. I'm sorry.
yeah. No, that's totally fine.
7 points of lightning damage.
All right. So he takes his 7. And then that is good for him. Okay. So yeah, he took his 7 points of damage. Then next up, Kronk.
All right. You said they were 20 feet away?
Yes. Well,
All right.
this dude has been pulled 10 feet closer. So he is 10 feet, and then the others are 10 feet behind him.
And is this the guy Ghost is looking for?
Yes, you would believe so. Based off of their conversation.
There's one, and then there's 3 in the front.
Right.
So the one in the back is the one I want.
And the one in the back has been pulled forward.
Okay. So that one, is he wrapped up? I can't remember how lightning lure works.
No, he just got pulled forward, and
It
then
just moves him. Okay. So if I try to get past him, it's an opportunity attack, correct?
Yes.
All right. Kronk just, I guess, lets this guy have it, but it's all, cricket bat subdual damage.
All right. Sounds good.
20 something.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And, I crossed that 5th level line. So one attack is now 2. And another 20 something.
Yeah, they both hit.
All right. And does he have a visible weapon?
He did. It looks like he has a mace at his side.
All right. I will throw in an extra D8 and attempt to knock that.
Disarm.
Yep, knock that away with my.
4 is not going to stop Kronk on this.
No.
No.
All right. So, oh my God. 11, 13. That's 18. And then, of course, the sword, when I hit him, it goes and does another 2d6 thunder damage. So, the 1 and a 2, so I get to re-roll them both because I'm a weapon master. And double 5s. So that's...
You are beating him with John Cena's theme. I hope you're happy.
It's 20. Okay, so altogether, 21, 22, 23, 28.
Holy shit.
Boom. Boom. And both, like I said, it's these big thunderous notes come out of the greatsword.
Oh yeah, no, and I would say that they have the same like echo distance as a thunderclap, so like 300 feet your sword makes, but you guys are underground. It's fine. It's just very loud down here. As Kronk beats down with his weapon. So Ghost, you are next.
Okay. Is he prone?
From the lightning lure?
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
You muted yourself.
I know, sorry. I interact and kick his weapon back to these guys.
Okay.
All right, I am going to use my bonus action to shift. So I get 8 temp HP, but I was already down 7 from my blood right.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk forward towards Father Lewitt Wagner, and I'm going to twist my ring a little bit. I'm going to say, I tried death, didn't take. And I'm going to use my Iron Bands of Brillo.
Iron Bands of Brillo, like the cleaning pad.
So I need to make a...
ranged attack, correct?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Attack. Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I thought it said as a bonus action. I was like, no. No, so I need to make a ranged attack with my Dex modifier. Plus proficiency, which is 3. So 6 plus 7 is 13. Does that hit?
It does not. So your iron bands shoot off, and he just sort of dodges out of the way as they just sail past him.
Mm-hmm.
And you look down and you know that the use on your ring is expended, and you'll have to pick back up the metal coils.
Damn it. That's fine.
This priest, kind of having taken a significant amount of damage from Kronk, and seeing that his weapon is no longer there, looks at you, Ghost, and looks at you, Hubris, and just says, I think it's time we even the playing field. And he turns around and he extends his hand out again, this black hand towards you, Kronk. So Kronk, I would like for you to make a charisma saving throw.
I counterspell that motherfucker.
Okay. He is getting upset about this, to say the least.
Yeah, earlier on, talking to LB, I'm telling her what the new Kronk is, and she's like, "Oh my God, he's unstoppable!" And I said, "No, he's a wisdom or charisma save away from being taken out of any battle."
So
Nice try, DM.
Can't blame a guy for trying. So he's actually going to go over and pick up. He's going to try and maneuver over to pick up the mace that he had previously dropped. And then as he does that, he's circling around you, Ghost, so that way he doesn't provoke any attacks of opportunity from the Biggin himself. And he manages to pick up his weapon again, and then he just kind of brandishes it out towards you, his hand pulsing. And then it is time for our 3 little-ins, who are going to try and all just... you see them pull out daggers, and they are going to try and stab out at Kronk.
Cloak of Displacement. They are all at a disadvantage.
Yep. So I'm guessing a 14 doesn't hit, a 5 doesn't hit, and then... Ooh. Does a 20 hit?
20 does hit.
All right, so hope you're ready for the slam-a-jamma. 3 damage.
Just to be insulting, I should Stone's Endurance, but I won't.
All right, so that is
Starting to
it.
get his blood up.
So that is it for their turn. Next up, Hubris. As it actually worked out that you guys are at the top and then they're at the bottom.
Ooh. Yeah, I guess. Might as well. Gonna cast Magic Missile at first level. So that's, and I'm gonna split it 3 missiles, 1, 2, 3 on the dummies.
Okay.
So that is, where's my D4? Where's my pointy boy? There it is.
Where's that pointy boy?
1 takes 3 damage. 1 takes 2 damage. And 1 takes another 3 damage.
Ooh boy.
And as a bonus action, because I'm a sorcerer now, Wisp of Cold Air floats up underneath Hubris and he moves away using his bonus action. Storm Sorcerer. I can move away 10 feet as part of the bonus.
Sounds good. So yeah, you move back. Next up is Kronk.
So the big guy isn't dead.
No, he is not.
All right, well, let's
You got the little ones on you if you want to take care of them.
Yeah, and they're gonna try to stab you.
okay, I guess Kronk shoots you a glance like
I got it.
all right. Okay. So Kronk looks over and he's got this dagger sticking out of him. Looks back. And then it's like what's the monkey's name in Overwatch?
Oh, Winston.
Winston. And he goes, "Argh!" And he just the dagger goes flying out of him and he just rages as a bonus action. And then it just goes Goliath. It's just like the great sword just winging around, hacking. So 20 something to hit. Oh, yeah, like high 20 something to hit.
Your min damage is 9, right?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
they're dead.
Okay. All right. So 2 of them just go flying, hacked to bits in sword choppy goodness, because I don't need to save these guys. Nobody needs to torture and kill them. So yeah, bits, parts.
All righty. Jesus. All right.
You want to action surge, big guy?
I totally was going to do that the first round on the one guy, but I didn't want to take away Ghost's glory. And now I've been told that, this other guy's the target. I suppose I could kill the last one with the action surge.
Make a medicine check.
Sure. Oh, geez. I'm raging. I obviously can't think. I got it like a 7.
Yeah, this guy, the guy that you were told not to kill, he looks pretty hardy. He looks like he's taken, like you did a significant amount of damage, but when your sword connected, it didn't feel like it was hitting against just straight skin underneath his vestments.
All right. All right, then I guess I'll roll out the action surge, and if I can reach the big guy, I'm going to, I'll let him have the
deal with the little guy first. You totally can. It's no problem. Or even just like, I'm done with you. And like, what's he going to do? Try and provoke?
Yeah, exactly. So,
poison charges.
Kronk will look at him and he'll, oh wait. I can't remember. Does my superiority dice, are they like paladins things? I got to hit first and then... I think they are. Let me see real quick. Yeah, when you hit. Okay, so I don't have to declare that yet. All right, I will. Yeah, so I give him the double attack. 7 and 14, 20 something, right?
Yeah, I'll hit.
Okay. And 18 and 7 is, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, both of those will hit.
All right. And again, I'm subduing, and also I'm goading him. and unfortunately I'm raged out, so it's illegible what he's saying, but it's basically, trying to get through to him that you fight me, or I'll stop hitting you nicely and I'll start hacking you to ribbons. So that's my goading action.
Okay.
I'm like flat, like, oh, and then I'm like, turn the blade, like, oh, you're dead if you don't fight me. So I'm gonna use my goading attack, so my superiority dice. So 46 plus an 8, a d8. Reroll ones. Ugh, got a 2. So 10, 18, 19, 20, 21 plus 5, 26. And I think it's a wisdom save.
Okay. That's
for the goading attack.
He did fine on wisdom. That's one of his stronger stats.
Yes, DC 16.
Yeah, he got a 16 on the die, 23 total.
Okay.
He's fine.
All right. He doesn't have to fight me.
No, he doesn't want to. Ghost.
I'm in melee with him, or I'm up close with him. Okay, I'm going to try to make a touch attack and cast a 2nd level spell.
Oh shit!
Oh, come on! Damn it! Why? Why? No one wants me to do this.
I do.
I do nothing. I try to grab at him, and then nothing happens.
Yeah, and he just quickly bats away at your hand as you try and reach out.
Okay, and then I will cast Spiritual Weapon.
If you've already tried casting a 2nd level spell, you will not be able to cast another spell other than a cantrip.
You are correct. So I'm gonna toll the dead.
Oh,
No,
wait, was your
action.
Okay. It's like, wait a second here.
Wait a darn second. And I'm gonna say to him, so what's with all this Bane stuff? It seems a little out of character for you. You just casually, as he's getting the shit beat out of him by Kronk.
And you see, at this point, like, his head is, like, leaned down, and he has been hit to the point where, like, there is just blood kind of dripping from his mouth as internal wounds from Kronk they're doing a significant amount of damage, and he just coughs up blood onto the ground, and he says, in order for there to be a new sun, a new star in the sky, then all must burn, all must turn black. And as he does, he reaches into his vestments and he pulls out a small rod. And you see that this rod actually has a red button on top of it, and he just clicks it. And as he does, you all feel the ground shake where you are. And you see that the area above you, this underground cavern that you guys are currently fighting in, that stone and dirt begins to fall from this, like, begins to gently fall from the ceiling. It looks like it has been rocked, but it doesn't look like it has completely destroyed the area that you guys are in. And he just looks at you, Ghost, and says, even if you kill me, my work is done. And at that, he is going to try, and he places, you see him actually, like, reach into his vest again with his other side, and he throws out a pinch of sulfur. And as he does, you see that there are, in the center of this room, Hubris, you said that that in the center of this room beneath you, it starts getting very hot. Very, very, very hot. And as the sulfur hits the ground, flames actually shoot up from the ground and fill the entire room with fire. I would like for everybody to make a dexterity saving throw. All right. So, Kronk, what did you... 14? Kronk, what'd you get?
19.
19. Hubris.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Woo!
So, Kronk and Hubris, you are both going to be taking half. Ghost, you are going to be taking full. Ghost, you are going to be taking 14 points of radiant damage, and then Hubris and Kronk, you guys are also going to be taking 7 points.
Oh, that's 76. Let's not do that.
I'm gonna
Or sorry, that was 46. That was fire damage.
Yep.
And then
Does that get
also
resisted by me? Yes. So
you
I
were
take-
cold.
I'm cold.
Yes, you were a cold tiefling. And then you guys are also going to be taking, or Ghost first off is going to be taking 19 points of radiant damage.
Oof.
And then Hubris, you and Kronk are going to be both taking 8 points of radiant damage. As this figure just, like you see these flames wrap around him and he just continues to kind of cackle through it. As the one remaining cultist that was behind him just goes up in flames. Unable to survive this until you see this figure now standing in front of you. The flames have burned away the tabard that he wore over, and you see that underneath the tabard, underneath these vestments that he was wearing, is just very dark plate mail that he seems to have been wearing. And he is now smoldering, and he looks at you, and he looks at Hubris, and he looks at Kronk, and just, I should have killed you. Should have worked.
And death doesn't take, like I said.
So, Hubris, it is your turn.
By the way, I'm flexing off some of that damage.
Okay.
How fucked up does the duder look?
He looks pretty messed. He looks pretty wounded.
Hubris is gonna like shrug and then start pouring out some water on the ground and using control water to put out some of the fire. You got this, hun?
Of course. Actually, I think Kronk's got it.
And Kronk, it is your turn.
By the way, I flexed away all that damage.
Gross.
I did see he did 16 points. I rolled with my level added on 16. So he's like,
There's a reason you're in Force Grey. There's a reason.
The rage just keeps the fire away from him. Awesome. Oh, we're gonna check.
Yeah, it's like as the fires come up from the ground, you just start yelling and it resonates with your thunderous sword, and just the sheer resonance just dissipates the flames away from you. Just ah!
All right. Who was up?
You are.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Nope.
I'm gonna say to Kronk, since we were talking just a second ago, would you mind grabbing him, please?
Like, Rage Kronk looks at you. Bulldog! And does the Winston leap onto him and just folds in on him.
Okay, make an attempt to grapple.
With advantage, because you're raging.
Exactly.
He's grappled. He rolled a 3. There's no way Kronk does not get
Yeah.
worse than that.
Anyway, just my bonuses are.
Yeah, you're fine. So yeah, you have grappled him. And he just seems to try and be struggling away, and you can see that the flames actually have singed his beard and his hair, and you see that underneath there is actually layers of white, almost like he has colored his hair in order to try and appear as a different person.
My turn?
Yes.
All right, Ghost is going to walk up to him, and she's going to run her claw through his beard a little bit. It's on fire from her claws still. Or from her
Blood hunter.
blood hunter stuff. And she's just gonna say, You know what the best part about what you did to me was? And then she leans in. I don't care what you're doing here. I'm here to kill you. And she's going to lean back and then attack him.
Okay.
Do I get advantage because he's restrained?
He's not restrained. He is currently grappled.
Right, okay. All right.
Yeah, so
I'm going to do
advantage.
2 attacks.
Okay.
All right, with my gauntlets. Gauntlets! Give me fucking something! Okay, that's better. That's a 16 plus 7.
Okay, that one will hit.
Okay. I do... Oh, shit, I didn't look. What's my... Do I do just a D4 still? With my Crimson Right? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because the Crimson Right damage increases at level 6.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not our blood hunter.
So that was a 9 plus 4 damage.
Okay. Ghost, how do you finally get your revenge?
Oh, bitch. I only had to hit him once. I had a monologue, but he's being a dick. And he's really not worth it. So as she strikes out with her claw, before she does, she's going to say, what is she going to say?
Take your time. Big moment.
I know this is a big moment, and I had a whole thing, but I don't need to say all of it. Just does he seem like he's still with the cause of like
Oh yeah.
killing? Okay, because
No, he showed his air of remorse in his final moment.
I mean, like killing like my kind and like that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So she's just gonna say, you killed my family because you thought that we were monsters, but ironically enough, all you did was create one. And all of the people that I've hurt, all of the people I've tortured and killed, I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for you. So thank you. Enjoy being with your dead god. She's gonna grab his heart and rip it out.
Shit. So yeah, as you just puncture your hand, like the flames melt through the plate mail almost like it's butter, and your hand just sinks into his chest, and as you grip your fingers around his still beating heart, he just looks at you and with utmost contempt in his eyes just spits blood into your face, and says, even if it meant creating one monster, I'm glad I got to see the look in their eyes when I killed them the first time. And then you rip his heart out of his chest, as he seemed to have enough pain tolerance to survive enough to monologue at least a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, and so you rip his heart out of his chest, and Kronk, you feel that his weight just dead weights in your arms. And as you let go, his body just collapses down onto the ground. And as you look around, you see that Hubris has done a pretty good job of putting out all of the small fires underneath you. And as you go outside, are you bringing the body with?
First, I look at Ghost, like, can I do the thing? He raises his foot. No, he puts his foot back down.
I was gonna say, I have Revivify ready, and I kind of want to do it, but I don't because we're gonna leave it. But
I also believe you don't have a diamond on you.
I have $600 worth of diamonds.
Oh shit!
Did you
What's
check
a
my...
dollar?
Right. Well, I'm sorry, 600 gold worth of. Yeah. So I have. I have enough for 2.
Nice.
But I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, we'll carry the body out. I'm sure that the city is a little bit more worried than us carrying a.
Yeah, and as you go up top carrying his body with you, you see a field of devastation in front of you. You see that the central road that ran through the primary, that ran through the surface area of Mirabar has now collapsed in on itself. And it looks like these cave-ins where these explosions happen go down into the city below, and you can hear people screaming, you can hear people running and looking for help, you hear names being called out of lost ones, and you see, looking down by the street, that the broadside, the bar that you guys had passed by initially, still remains, even though there is a hole that seems to have formed in the ground very close to its front doors. And you see by the broadside that there are 2 of your Zentarum men. And they have very large kegs that they seem to be guarding on a wagon. And as they make eye contact with you, they just wave you over very quickly. And as you approach, you just hear, "We need to go, we need to go, we need to go, we need to go, we need to go."
Is it just us? Where are the other 2?
And and this one, the man that you recognize as Finn with the PH, he just motions over towards the partial collapsed surface area of Mirabar going into the lower areas. And they say, "We were supposed to meet back here once we had done the job. If they aren't here, they're dead. They're not coming with."
All right, take the cart, start down the road. We'll catch up. There's one thing that I have to do.
Um,
And Schmear was the other one who survived.
Yeah.
Unlucky with the name, lucky in life.
he was gonna pull out a handkerchief, wipe Ghost's face really quick. Turns to Kronk, go, "Hey, big guy, bump me up real quick." And
Okay.
he'll run at Kronk, cast levitate on himself, and hopefully gets like popped up.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
Oh. You just want to get an overview?
I want to get an overview. If it looks like what I think it's gonna look like.
Looking at this town, you can see that out of the 5 explosives that had been planted here, only 2 of them were able to be prevented. As you guys had only 4 people with you, so regardless of what you did, there was going to be an issue. And what you see, Hubris, kind of looking down, is that on the far western corner of the city, it looks like there is still surface area above. And as you look over at the where you would guess the 4th finger in this hand would be, that one is also completely fine. But every other point looks like it has been broken and caved in, and the majority of Mirabar is currently in shambles.
Let's hope that's enough to quell whatever the fuck he was planning. And he drops concentration on himself.
Okay. Yeah, and so you fall back down to the ground, and I'm just going to say Kronk catches you as you were, as levitate would be 30 feet. Okay, you gently float back down.
What he dropped was his changed self or whatever, right? Or did you drop your levitate?
Drop levitate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I misunderstood.
Yeah, so, you see that this town is not going to be the same. Regardless of the events that took place here, whether or not it was some explosives, whether or not it had been all of them. It seems like the lands themselves are going to be permanently affected by the changes that have taken place here to this day. But Kronk, as far as you are aware, your mission was successful. You didn't stop all of the explosions, but you put an end to the man who was behind it. And Ghost.
So as they ride out of town, I'm gonna Hubris and Kronk and I are going to go into the church that they had established, the temple, and we are going to string the dead body of Father Lewitt Wagner up by his hands, chest agape, and Ghost is going to write in his blood on the floor, "May those who see this and keep this man's words in your hearts be warned. The ghost of Waterdeep is on the hunt. You may run and you may hide. All the more fun for me."
Okay. And as you are in this temple, as you're doing this, you realize that this sun figure that had its clenched hands over this tabard is a depiction of Bane. Like, it seems like Bane if he were to be dressed in sun gear. And as you kind of look around, you realize that this is just a very, very cleverly disguised. Yeah. It's a cleverly disguised temple of Bane, but you leave your blood message with the blood from his followers. Maybe you have to cut your palm a little bit to get the last few words in there.
That's fine.
But you do manage to leave the note.
Cool. And then we bail. Bail.
Bail.
As a player, Hubris, do you have detect magic? Cool, detect magic.
In the temple?
In a temple?
Sure.
No, I don't.
All right.
Yep. So,
Is this mace like wicked cool?
no, it just looks like a standard mace.
Fuck it. We're gonna push down that fucking statue. Fuck Bane. Come on, Kronk.
Yeah, and with Kronk's siege damage to structures, it is no problem. This thing gets rocketed off. There's a giant hole in the wall of the building behind it where you shot this statue through, and you guys managed to put an end to this issue. And Ghost, as you are writing out your message in the blood of Father Lewitt Waldner, you feel a warmth on your chest. And you hear in the back of your mind, "You have done well today." And for the first time in a long time, you hear the words of Asuran speaking to you.
He's speaking to me. She has a little fangirl moment, and then she is going to take the heart that she still has and just ignite it in the flame hand and let it crumble.
Okay.
Just as a little tribute. I hear you. Bless.
And it says, this voice says again, "For what do you seek?"
In life or at this moment?
Either.
I have a friend who's very ill. Can you help me with that?
Blessings upon you. And you feel that same kind of warmth and looking at the ground, you see it burn out, and it actually ignites a little bit more and then seeps back in, and you feel like you have now the ability to do that which you have wanted to for ever since learning about said curse.
Yeah. All right, cool. So as soon as we get to the next town, when we get ready for bed, if we're okay with skipping to there.
Yeah, no, we are past Mirabar. We are now on the long road. You guys are heading back towards Waterdeep. So if there's any last words that you guys would like to have towards each other heading out of town before we get into the final throes of our epilogue.
I take his mace and his burned through the whole chest plate mail as trophies.
Okay.
Nice.
Because we're not taking him back, right?
No, he's staying strung up.
So that's I'll take those for the war room.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So as we wake up the next morning, probably, because that's how spells work. Or maybe I had it. We'll say that night.
Your spells at midnight.
Cool. So I'll stay up late. Is Hubris gonna stay up or is he gonna go to bed?
Take some drinks, talk, go to bed when we go to bed.
Okay. So you kind of see her sitting in the window, looking outside for a little bit. Like right at midnight, she usually gets pretty quiet, and she has her little moment to herself. And then she kind of just lets out a long sigh, and she walks over to him. Where is he?
Probably at a table in the room, just like reading something.
Okay. She's going to straddle him and sit on his lap. And then she's going to start unbuttoning his shirt.
You know, if you just wanted this to happen, you could have just asked.
Just be quiet for once in your life.
You know.
I want to try something. And she ignites her claw.
Consent, maybe just a little.
And then as it gets close to him, she turns it off and places her hand on her chest, and she casts Remove Curse. How do you feel?
And Hubris, for the first time in a very, very long time, you no longer feel that chill in your bones that has haunted you since you were a child.
He's silent for a moment before he rests his head in her chest and he whispers, "Thank you."
Daw. All right, so I'm assuming that there is going to be a fade to black moment of happy times happening.
They bang.
They bang! Smash cut! Waterdeep, putting the smash in smash cut.
Just after that bit with the thank you, Kronk goes, "I love you guys," and then he walks out of the room.
What? When? How?
Advantage on stealth.
That you guys have.
You should never have let him spend his own money. All right, so you guys make your way back to Waterdeep. And once you return, Kronk, you let the Black Staff know about the events that transpired. She's very sad about the events that have taken place in Mirabar, but upon hearing your story and hearing that there is finally that is finally going to be put to rest, she is very thankful. And so even though you aren't going to be she'll still have you lead your own teams throughout the city, however, sending you on like a month far away, she's probably gonna have somebody else be the team leader for that one. Ghost, you end up becoming the owner of 2 large kegs of smoke powder. And if we would like, we can talk about the repercussions of that smoke powder later on.
Oh, God. I have a plan for them.
You do. So, speaking of that, Hubris, what were you doing as soon as you got back to Waterdeep? As you were not involved in the Zents, you weren't involved in Force Grey, you were just kind of a third party with a mechanical hand and was also friends with these guys.
Honestly, he starts running his businesses.
Okay.
In the morning, he wakes up and he like trains the kids. In the afternoon, he's just like there running things.
All right. So let's do a 5-year jump, because I'm going to say 5 years mostly because Wizards has their modules in a specific timeline. Mm-hmm. I would like to keep in the confines of that timeline. So the next time I run a module that takes place in the Forgotten Realms, you guys aren't just like, well, I had all this stuff fucking planned, and it's like, well, that can't work anymore. So 5 years. What do you guys do over the next 5 years? And we will start with you, Ghost, as I know that several other people's plans revolve around plans that you yourself have made.
What, Ghost is the center of attention?
What?
Who knew? So would she get her new name now?
Yeah.
Okay. So
this is over the 5-year period. So
yeah. I just want to make sure we're in the same.
Yep.
Yeah. So Ghost crosses off Father Lewitt's name from her list. There's still a few names on there, but her family is avenged. Instead of going south, I think she would take them north and then see Kleehoon, because they're like right where she would be anyways. And then tell her, like, just have a cute little reunion and tell her what she did, and not so many words. Just like she's dead. She went on returning. She would be accepted as since there's a opening, accepted as a Doom Raider, and she would take the name of the Ghost of Waterdeep. She would open her school for orphan children of Waterdeep / assassin training school under the table. Let's see. Squidly and Jenks would be training to be like her 1 and 2.
Was it Nat?
Nat's a little wary of me. Because
Nat has been wary of ghosts, primarily because if you have ever paid attention when Ghost is speaking, you have a very good understanding of what she's about. And Nat, being the way that she is all but listening. That's all that she can really do. So the entire time that Ghost has been kind of prepping Squidly and Jenks, she has been very attentive of the fact, aware of the fact of what Ghost is trying to do. As well as the day that Nat the one day that will never clear itself from Nat's mind, which was when she got up late one night to go use the restroom and saw the lot of you keeping dead bodies in the house. And then Ghost just said, "This is going to be our little secret," kind of deal to this small mute child. Nat has never really like trusted Ghost past that point. If anything, she kind of follows orders because she wants to be like Kronk.
This is my girl.
So, building the school, start taking in children. She only takes in kids who are like 5 and up, because she doesn't really do infants. You know, like she's not about that.
Too
life.
young. Yep.
Right. Yeah. They can't be trained. So yeah, like there's people teaching at the school, mostly us, and then she would get some of the Doom Raiders to come in and do a couple little classes here and there, maybe take them out on small missions. And then other things are probably more than 5 years out, I'm thinking. Like,
okay.
She has plans to go after a few other people, like the troop leader who kicked Kronk out of the circus and enslaved him, the demon who cursed Hubris, and the carny who killed Wolf. Which might happen within the 5 years with the gunpowder.
Smoke powder.
That's a discussion for another time.
And I believe there was another thing that you wanted to do, correct? Which was become a masked lord of Waterdeep. Oh yeah,
is that like within the 5 years?
That can totally happen within the 5.
Cool. Okay, so Ghost is going to attempt to become a masked lord of Waterdeep to get more power.
All right. And so the way that LB and I had worked out as to how all of this happened is because of, again, the worst kept secret in Waterdeep, Omnificus Hereward Drawn. So what ends up happening is that Ghost ends up getting in contact with Acquisitions Incorporated. Not so that way she can become a member, but just so that way she can learn more about the organization, kind of figure out how Omen got to the point where he was at. Mm-hmm. And in doing so, you found out that Omen has 2 cohorts, Jim Dark Magic and a red-haired man by the name of Viari. They are not the brightest individuals. They seem almost like blundering sidekicks when they aren't kicking ass throughout the streets of Waterdeep. But you realize that Viari is actually the easier target for the two of you. So, how do you persuade Viari? I believe there was a clever use of an alter self spell that went on as well.
Oh yes. Okay. So I figured this ghost approaching him would reveal herself to be a human with her alter self amulet, and throughout a series of maybe dates or night on the town, when she gets him in private, she then changes back into her normal self, bites him, and then says, "I've given you lycanthropy. I have the cure if you'd like, but it comes at a price."
Oh God. Why would you? You can't tell Omen.
Of course not.
And he just throws that out there. Just you can't tell Omen.
I just need information.
Oh, information I have plenty of. But how that and he motions towards the bite.
Oh, don't worry, it won't take effect until tomorrow night. But the first change is quite hard.
Oh.
And then she would ask him about how one becomes what's the process of becoming a masked lord. Is it a voting thing? She would just get the information from him as to a way to move herself up.
Yeah, and over the course of this exchange, Viari does end up telling you the process with which himself, Omen, and Jim all earned and as well as their friend Binwin Bronzebottom, all earned the affections of the townspeople of Waterdeep by fighting off a Tarask in a giant stone mech and fighting it monster kaiju style, which you feel like you would remember, as that happened maybe 10 years ago. Giant monster invading the town, giant stone man fighting it off, but a lot of things happen in Waterdeep.
Yeah.
You might have just been having a busy day. But yeah, so it is explained that as long, it is either dependent on who you know, in which case Viari is totally down to suggest to Omen very heavily that he should consider you to be up for the Masked Lord position, and as long as you return him from his lycanthropic state before Omen or Jim finds out, that he is totally willing to do this for you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And eating out of the palm of your hand, Viari does this for you. And so that is how Ghost became a Masked Lord.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Is by manipulating stupid men.
Easy peasy.
Easy. Kronk.
I do this in my sleep.
Kronk, what does your 5-year plan look like?
So it cut scene, Kronk in the training area with the kids, and he blows the whistle. They all step up to dummies. They have javelins, and he looks over at the hatch and makes sure it's closed. And then he's like, "All right, eyes, throat, guts, nuts, do it." And he's got the kids poking the dummies, eye, throat, guts, nuts. He's putting them through their paces, but he's making sure that they're not listening, because these are the little kids, the 5, 6, 7-year-olds who shouldn't be having real weapons anyway. But it's Unky Kronk, and they love him, so he lets them get away with garbage like that. And I guess there would probably be other cut scenes where he's in Force Grey, doing ridiculous, superhero kaiju monster fight type stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
That the stuff that always happens in Waterdeep.
As you do.
As you do. Maybe at some point he's got a certain beholder by like the eye stalks, and he's swinging him around like his ball and chain, and then he just smashes them on something like blarf, splits it open.
On a fish in a bowl.
Yeah, on the fish in a bowl. Maybe.
Oh, not Silgar! Don't do that.
Silgar.
Silgar did do nothing.
Hey, who's to say that's the same Silgar though?
Or
Don't let him know.
Or maybe Hubris mage hands Silgar out at the last second, and then the beholder comes down and explodes.
Control water to keep Silgar in.
All right. So yeah, you manage. So in Kronk's 5-year plan, he continues his job with Force Grey and eventually lays down the Xanathar Guild. So we have Xanathar Guild taken care of, Masked Lord Ghost. Hubris, what is your plan?
He gets dragged around.
He's
All right.
trophy husband.
Though, basically over the course of the next 5 years, he rehabilitates the slums,
Okay.
turns them into respectable living, and at night he does some vigilante work.
Nice.
Probably one night, as there was like, I don't know, 3 people trying to mug somebody, he's standing on a rooftop, and you'll see like, when Gilgamesh uses his noble phantasm
From the Fate Grand Order series, or at least that was the
Fate
mobile
Grand-
one. From the Fate
Basically,
series.
hundreds of like spell circles appear behind him, and then like slowly sliding out are like ice weapons. He's like, "Hello, mongrels, lovely night tonight," and they like run away. And on the other rooftop is like the Black Viper, and she like looks, nods her head, and goes away.
Yeah, she gives you the nod as a fellow rooftop vigilante. And over the course of the 5 years, Hubris, you and Viper end up working pretty close. Mostly because it's like every once in a while you get the same marks, and you find out that she is also a member of the Zentarum.
Dude, what the fuck?
That's how it works. People got to get funding somehow. Then there was one last thing that was going to happen before we close the book on Waterdeep as it was. Hubris, you have spent years trying to find your sister, correct?
Yes.
All right. You finally managed to meet up with her. And as you see her from a distance, and as you are approaching and she sees you and begins heading towards you, the sky darkens above where you are, and behind your sister you actually see a magical circle open on the ground, and rising from this circle is a figure you never thought you would see again. It is a black-robed figure with long black hair that extends down past his shoulders, and he has a metal gauntlet, and you again thought that you would just never see this man. And he looks at you and he smiles, and as he does, he throws two metallic signets down onto the ground. And as he does, he reaches out, grabs your sister by the shoulder, and with a flash of magic, they are both gone. And as you go over and you look at the signets that are on the ground, one is the signet of what looks to be a skull that has flames coming off of it, and it is colored red and black, and that symbol seems to be cracked into the middle. And the other signet that was thrown out onto the street in front of you looks like an eye, an oblong eye, almost like your stone, but it has 8 spider legs coming off of the sides of it in this bluish black, almost metal styled color. And you make a history check.
Okay, I know Connor's not here tonight, but Andor, what the fuck?
19.
You recognize these symbols. Mostly because there was a time period where Omendron and crew disappeared, and when they came back, they were telling you, they told most of Waterdeep about a fantastical place that they had been to, a world that was covered by an entire city, and that place was known as Ravnica. And you are fairly certain that this mystical figure just threw you his location. You now have a place to be able to go to find her.
You see Hubris raise his hand over his head and pull it down past his face and armor Agathi's up. Here we go again.
All right. And that is where we shall end it for the campaign. So I wanted to say thank you to LBHackEmUp, thank you to RJustice 282, thank you to Greybeards Tavern, and even though he did not, he was not with us at the end of the campaign, thank you, damn it, Barry, and thank you to all of you wonderful people for making this campaign what it was. I had an absolute blast doing this. So, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ. I played Hubris, the Tiefling Warlock. You can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I stream with these lovely people. And I tweet about how, one, what the fuck, Indoor?
You guys named me. I am the monster you all made.
What the fuck, Steven? And some of the nerdier things in my life, like, hey, there was a questionnaire about Calum way back when. You guys can read through that. And you can catch me on Monday as the same character, Calum, on our homebrew game, Shadowkai Cleric. Hey, I'm running a campaign next Tuesday in this slot, and then after that, with Indoor LB Wangs GB?
Sometimes GB.
Sometimes GB. No, Wings is not gonna be here. Wow, I'm tired. And then next Tuesday, you'll catch me as Speedy in Curse of Strahd.
Yes. All right. LB, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp. I play Ghost, the Blood Hunter Cleric Shifter. And I will continue to, because I love pretending to be here when I'm at work and stuff. You can find me here on Mondays as Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian. And next week, Tuesday, I will be in the game. Oh, yeah, playing, I forgot what I was playing. There's just been a lot going on recently. I am playing a Tabaxi named Tobias. No. And then you can find me on Sundays on Encounter Roleplay's channel, doing the Fate system. And then after that, we do Curse of Strahd, and then soon we're going to start up doing something of Saltmarsh, and then soon we're going to be doing something on Pro Restarter's channel. There's stuff. Watch my Twitter. I don't know.
All right. And Greybeard, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm Greybeard of Greybeards Tavern, and I'm going to be here tomorrow night as Brogar, dwarven ice sorcerer. All the magic and heavy armor to boot. It's going to be awesome. Unfortunately, I'm going to end up having a horrible Fargo accent because a certain other player is going to infect me with it, and I'm not going to be able to not do that stupid accent. Anyway, for that story, tune into Knights of the Courtyard. And then Sundays I play here on my channel, and we play Darkest Dungeon, and there's props and fun and other assorted silliness. So come by on Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We usually play till noon, and we have a good time with that. And I'll be on One Shot Wednesdays as long as I can. And then after that, I'll be in Ghost of Saltmarsh over on Damn It Barry's channel. And then I'm playing a Warforged gunslinger. And so I've got some modded up, and I'm modding up his other gun right now. And you can catch that on my Twitter because I'm posting as each stage. I'm posting some more of it and how I'm doing it. So you want to learn how to turn a brightly colored Nerf gun into a cool steampunky thing, you can watch there. And I think, one last thing, starting May 10th, I will be over on, I'm sorry, Triangle. I can't remember the name of your channel suddenly.
Jacqueline Hare?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I'll be over there, and I'll be playing Jackson Renard, SWAT team member. And in a cops and robbers mafia style thing set in the year 2037, where we're going to fight over a Catan board, basically for sections of the city. There's 2 parties playing on opposite Friday nights. So it's going to be way crazy and wild. I guess this is their 2nd season of it, but they didn't record the 1st season. So just little bits and bobs of it. So anyway, come check me out over there. And that's, I think, it for now. But as I go, I'm going to try to get on some more shows. So keep a lookout at that Twitter.
Yes. And if you have made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hello everybody. I am the Indoor Adventurer. I am the host here at Indoor Adventures, and I love running games for my friends that we can always end on a happy note, because that's what this channel does. Happiness.
Fuck that guy, am I right?
I would like to say once more, thank you to LB, thank you to Greybeard, thank you to Barry, and thank you to RJ for making Waterdeep a campaign that I don't think we will ever be able to reproduce under any circumstances. You guys made this city yours, you made this campaign yours, and I am proud to have been your dungeon master. We are going to be going to our Patreon supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we are going to answer all sorts of questions, such as, what were those signets? How did Mushroom, aka Manshoon, come back? What's the deal with Hubris's arm? Why did we only stop at 5 years? All sorts of wonderful questions, of course. And of course, questions not only from you guys, but questions from the community at large. So if you would like, you can go to patreon.com/indooradventures, and any of the donation levels there will get you access to the after show, as well as access to our Discord, which is incredibly active. I love being a part of, I mean, it's weird being like, I love being a part of my Discord, but like, look, I'm not trying to toot our own horn here, but there's some real good music that gets dropped in the music chat. There's some awesome, funny stuffs that get dropped in our visual recommendations, as well as the community that we are building is absolutely fantastic, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
We all say good morning to each other. It's adorable.
We do. We all do say good morning, and it's wholesome, and it's exactly what we need. But right now, what we need is to go to our break, or to our Patreon supported podcast. So again, thank you to you wonderful players for letting me put you through this 28 weeks in a row, and I will see you guys
16
later.
weeks.
The HBO show of D&D.
We got
10 sessions, 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 sessions tops. We'll be done by Christmas. Wink. All right, guys, we'll see you later.